Welcome to episode 6 of my personal growth journey. Growth for you may look different from me, and this series is a compilation of choices that I have decided to make and wanted to share with you. I wanted to make this episode of my personal growth journey, like I did with the other episodes in this series, informative and transparent, but also connected with you in going through the process of this journey and growth. Today, I'm going to be getting my deviated septum and my ptosis eyelid corrected. What's really interesting is that in Korea, the term plastic surgery actually literally translates to molding surgery or shaping surgery. It doesn't carry that same negative linguistic connotation that the English variation plastic has, insinuating fake and artificial and also environmental issue. Instead, I find that the Korean culture and language almost views the Korean phrase for cosmetic surgeries to be an empowering one, which targets improvement. I've learned both functionally and cosmetically. There is a lot of social stigma and ethics to be considered when dealing with such an invasive procedure, especially when cosmetic and deemed superficial, or in extreme cases can lead to things like plastic surgery addiction. Additionally, in most cases, I find that most of what we can benefit from these medical cosmetic procedures are beneficial functionally to improve our health and well-being. Growing up, I've always had a problem with nosebleeds that would occur every week. And I also had breathing issues from breaking my nose as a child. I did do a lot of research the past 3 years due to my constantly blocked left nostril and found a lot of surgical before and after photos and posts, including descriptions filled with information on the function of the nose, improvement of the structure of the nose through the enhancements for better airflow by correcting deviated septums, which is the cartilage in the center when it is twisted, and ultimately improving breathability. When I broke my nose in my early elementary school years, I ran into a telephone pole with my head turned left like this, and it caused my nose to become a little bit crooked like that, and invasively blocked my left nostril. My bones also must have pushed into an artery because at that time I would get nosebleeds every single week. Cosmetically though, I never liked the crookedness, the asymmetry of my nose, but I came to not really mind it much because I had a knack for makeup and I love makeup, and I would always correct the asymmetry with my makeup anyway. However, I did spend hours learning, practicing as a professional makeup artist to get to that point, correcting and shaping more symmetry into my face and into my nose. Funny thing is, I was also really glad to know that one of my mentors, who is 80 years old, was actually one of the very first people to receive this surgery, the septum correction surgery, and also perform it in the army back in the 60s after breaking his nose during his Korean military duty in the Marines. And he actually told me that back then they actually cut both under the nose and above the nose to access the structure of the nose. I'm super excited because very soon, in literally like a few hours, I am going to be having my very subtly crooked but internally messed up deviated septum with functional septorhinoplasty at BANOBAGI clinic by the ear, nose, throat specialist, Dr. Lee. I did also want to correct my eyelid muscle. I didn't wear any eyelid tape today while I was doing my makeup, but you can see more visibly when I don't wear my tape that this eye droops way past my iris line in comparison to my left eye. And this is a condition called ptosis that causes your muscle to not fully engage, and the eye cannot fully open unless you utilize your eyebrow muscles like this. So I'm hoping to match this eye with this one so that I won't have to wear eyelid tape anymore, and I won't have to utilize external muscles other than the muscles in my eyes. One concern that I did have with doing my research in correcting my septum and my eyelid muscle was the talks of possible malpractice that I saw online from whistleblowers speaking out against ghost doctors, where separately paid doctors will fill in the spots of consulted doctors and other untrained or unrelated medical practitioners like dentists performing things like eyelid surgeries. I am really thankful that the Korean government really cracked down on this and implemented so many policies the past decades to prevent these types of malpractices. For example, all surgery rooms are now required by law to have a CCTV camera installed so that there's always recording footage and there's video evidence and proof of what's going on in the surgery room. I did actually reach out to 7 different clinics across the world, across Canada and the US, and also other clinics in Korea. I found that Canada and America's price points were double or triple of what I was quoted from the Korean clinics at about $20,000 to $30,000 per procedure compared to around $5,000 in Korea. And this was just for targeting my nasal structure problem. I also noticed that I didn't receive a lot of replies from the Korean clinics because they had a very structured way of doing their online consultation and accepting new clients and new inquiries through their website forum that is structured fully in Korean, and it's like a blog system. And I had so much trouble with that because of my language barrier. In the end, I did decide to book with DocFinder Korea because DocFinder Korea was such a great liaison between the clinics and myself, and also in communicating in a way that is very patient focused and not just rushed through like a forum system like many other clinics I saw online. DocFinder Korea was extremely quick in getting back to my emails, very fast turnaround within like hours or days. They were running me down on all the details when I was reaching out to them anonymously, providing travel information as well as being a bridge to the different options and clinics that I was interested in. What I also really like about this government accredited medical tourism agency is the fact that they provide a lot of services to patients by being paid by the clinics, so there's no extra cost to the patients for airport pickup, for a salon appointment, back and forth, for booking rides for you, answering all of the 10,000 questions that I had. Even their translation services and appointment arrangement plus aftercare services are all free of charge. When I brought up my concerns to DocFinder Korea anonymously, they provided 3 or 4 hospitals with information about the hospitals that are well known worldwide and also nationally in Korea. Hannah from DocFinder Korea also outlined all of the specialties of each hospital and details on what the procedures that I was asking about would entail. And I did choose to book with BANOBAGI because I love the fact that they focus on a very family-like atmosphere in their hospital and also curate a natural result. So I did pay a $500 deposit fee to book my dates. That would go towards the total operation cost. I did want my features to become a more functionable me and still preserve the character of my features. And I really love that during my consultation yesterday, Dr. Lee and Dr. O both focused on this point. I want to really thank DocFinder Korea for helping me through this whole process because it was a nightmare reaching out to so many clinics and getting quotes and not getting replied to as well. I actually did share with them my social media after I booked my consultation and surgery dates because I wanted to share my journey with you as I have been about my growth and well-being. They were happy and agreeable with me filming my honest and raw experience through this whole process. Because I was also booking through the global pandemic, there were some promotions that were available for my package deals. DocFinder Korea had a special discount promotion with BANOBAGI while I was booking, and these promotions change all the time, but my pay structure was 50% off my largest operation fee, and then 30% off the rest, which is such a good deal, like already a fifth or a sixth of the price that I was quoted in US and Canada. But of course, this promotion will depend and differ on the time that you book and what promotions are available at that time. So definitely ask the agency, what's available. But Doc Finder Korea does do their best to try to bargain on your behalf and try to get you a good deal. Plus, make the whole process as smooth and informative as possible. Though I can speak decent Korean as a Canadian-raised second-generation immigrant, I still had some difficulties with communication with the doctors and the nurses. So I was really glad that the staff at both BANOBAGI and Doc Finder Korea did their best to translate and assist when I would ask like, oh, what is this? Especially with any information during my consultation with my doctors, Dr. Lee and Dr. O. Doc Finder Korea also provides translation in Russian, English, Mandarin, Cantonese, and Indonesian. I did ask them to make it quite natural and simple, like the eye shape on my better functioning eye, especially because I didn't want it to be too high and clash with my Asian features, which Dr. Lee was actually leaning towards as well. They do all the tests to analyze the structure of your bones and muscles, incorporate it into the total surgery cost, which is really nice that you don't have to have a sudden surprise of hidden fees like I've experienced in the past at hospitals in Western countries. As you can see, the scan of my nose shows exactly the area of my concern where my septum is crooked and causes the breathing problems. And I asked the doctor to preserve the natural shape of my nostrils that I love. So we are going to be focusing more on the bridge and internally where the crooked and bone issues are. Dr. O also recommended facial contouring for my upper and lower sides of my face to bring more balance to my features without touching my chin in order to preserve the character of my face, as well as leaving the angle of my jaw intact to preserve also the charisma of my face, which was really nice. And after looking at my before photos, I thought that this would really help with the symmetry of my overall face that I usually add with makeup. I personally think that we should balance between when we change ourselves and when we are taking care of ourselves. Especially when we grow, we work towards a healthier and better cared for version of ourselves. Whereas when we change ourselves, it's more of a denial of that part that we don't like. Both are good, but I think it's really nice to be able to label that intent and really know which direction that you're going, just for self-awareness and just a better connection of self-identity. Yeah. Oh my gosh, it smells so good.
So, I just got my procedure done yesterday. I actually could breathe a lot better the first day. But now that my nose is all swollen, my face is all swollen, my eyes are all swollen, everything's swollen, I don't have the capability to breathe anymore. However, I know that in 2 days the swelling will go down. I do look kind of crazy, but it's not a sight that you're unfamiliar with my 3 C-sections and my tonsillectomy crazy photos while I had my hemorrhage. This is what my incision looks like. Everything's swollen right now. For my meals, I'm having oat milk, and pumpkin juice. Hale got me milk, and Dr. Korea provided pumpkin juice. I was actually in surgery for like 12 hours or something like that, 10 to 12 hours. And I'm so thankful to Dr. Lee and Dr. O, who did an awesome job. I just keep hearing from the staff, oh, it came out really well, it came out really clean. Your swelling is not as bad. So I am using my ice packs, and I will let you know how things go. In the meantime, check out this video for my trip to Korea series, and I'll see you in the update. Bye.